Hi there. Good evening. This is Dr. Rao Kulusu. I'm opening my room and hacks from ancient wisdom for our modern lifestyles induced stress and burnout. Um, I hope people can have a good discussion in this 1 hour. I'm waiting for my guests to arrive, and usually they come trickle, and then at the end of the hour, we have a lot of people still waiting. So I just want to record an introduction on live. That's why I'm doing this already. My name is Rao Kulusu. I'm an MD and also MBI. MD from India and has a 42 years practice in United States in internal medicine. And I did residencies here, one in internal medicine, another in geriatrics, but I practice mainly the internal medicine and also informatics. I worked in hospitals um, where I helped install EMR systems. And now I established a company for wellness oriented. Its name is BA PAL. And this is a company where I fuse modern medicine and ancient wisdom to help with the stress and burnout of the modern times. And people have been using that to help themselves from the stress and burnout that people are experiencing. Um, I have been conducting these groups regularly, and people are coming in and participating in discussion of these matters. And we are coming with practical solutions that we can adopt from the ancient times. And I am very happy that we were able to have some of these insights which are helping us in the modern life. My company name is BA PAL. It's a limited liability company. Its website address is bapal.net, and my email address is hkolso@gmail.com. With that, a couple of friends showed up. I will see whether they want to come up and have a discussion with me. So I will invite them and see where they take us from. So any one of them can come up and we can start the discussions. Um, so we'll see. So some of the hacks we talked in the last few days were about how to have a good sleep, how to have less anxiety, how to really tackle the depression, and how to also really excel in remembering things or having a very firm intellect. All those things are from our yogasanas and breathing and meditation. I usually start my day with a session of yoga where it is streamed to all the channels live, and people have been coming and doing the whole 1 hour with me where we focus on being in the present and having the deep sleep, deep breathing, deep breathing, and also doing both sides of the body. We start with simple breathing, refreshing, then we go into asanas that will start with simple limbering exercises, and then few asanas that are done with each step instructed. And then we sit down for 10 different varieties of breathing exercises. And then we end up the hour with a brief meditation like, and where I invite people to be the witness consciousness. And then carry that presence that they cultivated in that 1 hour through the day so that they are less reactive and less stressful that way. So those are the things that I have been doing. And also in these rooms, I usually handle the questions and instead of giving a big talk. We want to be practical and brief and uh, to the point. If I could, sometimes I may explain a little bit more, but generally, I would like to see somebody has some issue that they would like to probe into and have some insight into, and that kind of awareness, that kind of practical tools that they may not be paying attention to, like having a simple change in their food habits, simple change in how they eat the food, and simple way of protecting their diurnal rhythms, that is regular out of the body where it feels hungry, then you eat, you allow it to assimilate, and then execution happens. So that cycle, we don't want to interfere with occupied with TV or movies in the night. We may eat very late, then it doesn't have the time for assimilate, digest and assimilate the food. So that kind of commonsensical thing, if we pay attention to, I think we will be well in the long run. So my company is basically wellness oriented. So as a physician, I have seen a lot of patients who are not oriented like that. They were coming to me only when the illness started, and then they, not only to me, any other health care institution, they were not coming for preventive work, but more like acute care work. That's all okay, but then I wanted to protect them from getting sick. Okay? Those kind of. Okay, I think uh, Kopadhari. Did I say correctly your name? Yeah, I was afraid that I was, you know. Uh, how are you, Kapadari? Hello, Kapadari. How are you? I could hear you, so your mic was working, but you have not unmuted your mic. Yeah. Hello, Bapu. How are you? Good, good, good. Yeah. The Kapadari came. He said hello, but then his mic went, you know, so mute. So hopefully he can connect again and then talk to us. Um, so meanwhile, tell me, Bapu, how are you? What's going on? Mm. Yeah. 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 That gratitude thing is a wonderful thing you are doing, Bapu, because it's like appreciation of what we have, and that kind of gives us like a abundant uh, framework inside, and then you approach with the riches inside rather than really not being you know um, complaining about things we don't have or we may think we want to have, that kind of thing. So it's a good thing to practice the gratitude thing. People kind of get up with the negative framework, and then if they can count whatever they have, even if the sensation I am live, so I'm good enough, that kind of thing also helps a lot, right? So it's a question of perspective. That's what our ancients did. They always said, why are you sleeping on the rock? And because they said, I'm in the lap of my mother. So I'm very comfortable on this rock because I'm sleeping on her lap, that kind of thing. I'm happy that I'm alive. I'm able to enjoy the nature and able to enjoy this, all the air and the water and mountains and the greenery and all that. They used to take care of them very well, and also they were appreciative that they were alive and in the nature, and that kind of positivity helped them a lot, I think. you know Mm. Yeah.
one is swimming into deep to the beautiful nature, and the man who is glimpsing at nature is enjoying a lot,
Mm.
and that destination is far away, and
Yeah.
far better.
Yeah.
But the matter is how you are enjoying. If you are enjoying the process or not.
Yeah.
And glad to be here with Doctor. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. You said you are a civil engineer, right, Babu?
No, I am from Marine. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
you can see. Yeah, I
Yeah.
am a retired guy. I am retired from police also,
Yeah.
volunteer,
Mm.
and done. And Doctor, everything is in my bio, and that is from my heart, and it is true. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Okay. Very good. So the marine life must have been very good, right? My brother was a lieutenant colonel in Indian Army, so he had a good life in the army, but he was away from the family all the time. That's why he finally gave up and then came to live with the family in the city. Uh, but went all the way up to lieutenant colonel in the army, and he had a very good life in army. I think only thing is he was away from the family, and after that, after he's married, he came back and then he established a business in city, and then he was there. So I think he enforced the military discipline to me because I was very young to him, like 16 years of age. I'm the seventh child, he's the first child. So he kind of practically played the role of the father. And so I was I was told about how the military people are very immaculate, put everything in order, that kind of thing. That really helped me because I'm still very organized because of that upbringing in the very disciplined. So keep everything in order, never want to make a mess and all that. You know.
Yeah, appreciate that, Doctor. One thing more to add. Uh, See, life is whatever life,
Yeah.
and as a perspective of a defense background and what defense personal and the core induced marine
Yeah.
from Navy, what I see life is how you just handle the situation,
Yeah.
and the good thing you can start with making your bed early in
Yeah.
the morning,
Yeah.
and these small things are quite helpful
Exactly.
to unleash your talent or
Yeah.
whatever more you want to do for the society or
Yeah.
your brotherhood or your family.
Yeah.
And that's
That
why, yeah,
that making the bed in the morning kind of puts you in command, and then you are already in charge of your routine. And actually I do that too. So in the morning, first thing is that when you get up, they make your bed and make it neat and appear, and then go from there. So that's also the military discipline I told you. But there's another thing too. As a yogi, when you get up, you don't want to have laziness. One of the signs of the immunity is absence of laziness. So people who have that, they always are get going. So that is their absence of laziness in people. You know, there are
yeah.
some.
There is no time for laziness. Actually, you can say
Yes,
there is no time for laziness.
yeah, but
Uh,
the
yes,
civilians that are raised in the cities, they get used to this creature comforts, and the body gets used to that. Actually, that's very bad for the long term uh, agility, and also um, living long longevity. Because people who are like used to the creature comfort, they allow the aging to come on much quicker, and a lot of people don't realize that. So creature comforts are against yogic lifestyle, which I prefer, where you are really active and alert from the get going. But you don't want to jump up and be in a hurry, but you want to really use your time in a way that is very, very meaningful to you. So I like get up in awareness. I do things in awareness, and then I go and work in awareness. So that is much better than being in thought, being in a hurry, or being really driven from some passions inside. All that would not be there in a yoga lifestyle. Anyway, that's a long topic, big topic. So how is the everything going on in India, Bapu? Is it controlled? COVID is on everything.
No, we all Indians,
Hmm.
we manage things. Yes, we manage things a better way.
Yeah.
That's why we are Indian. And why I just coming back to you because it is your positive vibe and attraction.
Yes. Yes.
And one more thing, Doctor, you are doing a great job.
Yeah.
And more to add, what you said, it is all the man
Yes.
who has a calm mindset
Mm-hmm.
and fire burning desire within him.
Mm.
Yes, I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I mean, there were so many rooms I went today, and lot of places we talked about this quiet mind, you know, because people think that something away there, they have to take some time off and then calm down. But yoga taught me, and also Vedanta taught me that silent mind. When it does silent mind is we are not really those thoughts. The thoughts happen to us. Once you recognize that and question even the existence of mind, then all you have is only thoughts. There is no special mind life. And then you use the thought when it's needed for outward purposes, and the rest of the time you stay in your awareness. So that's such an important clue to be having a mind that is free of this compulsive, unconscious, and wayward thinking. So it's a big problem because this information overload, where we have a lot of data coming from all over the place, and people are kind of having the problem of controlling those thoughts, and then they are out of whack sometimes. They come to me because they are not able to sleep. They come to me because they are not able to focus on the important things. And they don't have any joy in the life too because they are worried about these thoughts coming up to them all the time. Either they are negative about something happened in the past, or they are worried about something that's going to yet to come. So that kind of thing doesn't allow the mind to relax. But if you learn to relax while you are doing work, that's a good, you will be in the flow states. And that is really what we want to do. you know Rajesh is here. I haven't seen him in some time, so let's see.
Why you, Dr. Rao, why you amaze me if I say from deep core from my heart, and that you just always relate things to
Yeah.
practical things, and you are a doctor,
Yes.
and just showing his passion,
Hmm.
his what is written in where written in that meditation or meditative state or meditation, whatever thing.
Yeah.
If the person knows where it is written and where the deep cause is written and what is the deep cause behind his pain,
Yeah.
he will do his pen, his handle his pen blissful way.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so grateful and proud of you, Doctor.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi, Rajesh. Nice to see you.
Yeah, yeah. After today,
Hmm.
good evening, Doctor.
Yeah. So how are you?
Doing fine. Yeah, little after a little bit and all, I just back
Hmm.
at the town now.
Yeah. See, I've been doing that master class. Finished the third day today, and we were talking about mind management and meditations. I was giving the history of how the mind was studied in modern times, including my medical field, and also the mind according to the ancients. They have so so many more insights than what we learned in the medical school. So they are not against each other though. They are complementary to each other. If you understand both systems, I think we are the beneficiaries. See, very early, I was in geriatrics, in that hospital, a lot of dementia patients were there too, because they're all for the elderly people after 65. The people who used to come, and, it's also chronic disease of some of the people disabled, but most of them are above 70 years or something. And then some of the people lost their mind, they became demented. So we were studying that quite a bit. And lately, we have a lot more findings on that. But then, if you take the yogis' life, many of them, even after 80, 85 years, even just before they are dying, they're pretty sharp in that mind. You know, um, I will ask a question. I want you guys to answer me. Is yoga for the body or mind? What do you think? Bapu first.
Yeah, it is for both body and mind both.
Okay. Rajesh, what do you think?
Can you repeat? Just I have
Is yoga for body or mind?
yeah. See, after understanding from here, I think that it is both for body and mind. But after going through all this, I understand it is for just make focusing, make clarity in the mind is for yoga is for mind
Yeah.
more than
Actually, it is for the mind. But you want to have a body that is healthy enough for you to be able to sit down and go into the deep meditations and reflect on that. Then you will realize you and the universal consciousness will be together. And then when you do that, you realize that you are that universal consciousness. That is the ultimate aim of the yoga. When you take yoga's Patanjali Yoga Sutras, which is the major book, that is all about how to really not to have any thoughts in your mind, and then realize behind what you are, that is the conscious being. If you don't do that, then you will go through this mind and body complex, and then you will suffer in this world. That's the essence of that. But body has this role of being healthy and supporting a good brain, and then that you can sustain into meditation and all that. So that's the only significance the yogasanas have. But all the people forgot about that, and they are focusing only on the body exercises and the breathing, keep the body in health. That's all they know. And that's why a lot of mental problems take over these people. You know so that's why they do not have the peace and quiet they otherwise would have. If we don't have the emphasis on the mind, people don't work. So in my master class, that's what I was exploring, and many people think it's all for the body or for the body and mind, but they don't know clear distinction of why they have done what they have done. A lot of it is misinformation, and some of the Westerns also did not help the cause because they only value the body and then want to be very slim and shapely and healthy and all that. But then their minds are all over. They have into all these problems, right? We see the mental health is getting worse and worse in this country, and not only the country, all over the world. But then Western mind is very, very, tuned to the body, and once they kind of understand this, they made rapid progress. So that's one other thing I'm talking about in my master class. Anyway, I just remembered that. That's why I told you guys. So
yeah.
any,
One question, doctor. Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Because most of the time we maybe when we enter into your class or into yoga, it's a different thing because you just try to stabilize your mind through yoga first. And
Yeah.
most of the time people enter in the mid age or maybe after experiencing loss or
Mm,
maybe after losing most of their balance with
mm.
body and again mind and all. Then you prefer to give them some guidance
Yeah.
to stabilize your mind first or body first.
Actually, the it depends upon if the body is so diseased, so weak, then I will first fix the body and then go to the mind. But even then also, unless they have balance inside, they cannot really take care of their body also very well. They may be afraid of dying or having all those they limit them for going into the real yoga. So what I do is I kind of take from where they are and then take them baby steps towards what it really is, and don't want to push them but encourage them and empower them. And usually you can start with a few such exercises that are going to be really strengthen their body, and thereby they can have some balance and concentration in the body, and that reflects on the mind too. And then you got to stabilize the thought and emotions, so that they can really sit and do these things too. So it's all a question of making them sit in the chair or on the floor with the back correct, and then they can do the slowing of the thought, concentrating thought, calming the thought, and all of that. So meditation is not like just sitting and then doing some word. That is a mantra. That's all okay. But the meditation is also watching your thoughts and then changing your thoughts, and then finally really going out of it. I was talking about these five states of mind they described. One, have you heard about them, Rajesh? Bapu? Because I was repeating that the last few days. That's why. Did I talk to you about mind states?
No, I missed
Okay.
almost five
Okay.
days, five
Maybe
six days.
Bapu has heard it. Did you hear Bapu? He was here a couple of days ago. In this room,
Yeah,
some.
yeah. Let's sharpen our axis, and one more time, I will
Uh,
be glad enough
sure,
to
sure.
hear that.
Yeah, because I don't want to repeat if you have really heard it. That's why. That's okay. It's a simple thing. They describe like a modha, that's like a donkey like mind, you know, and the rajasic, which is monkey like mind, you know, and then kind of between like a sattvic, but then really doesn't stay one place. Also, that is butterfly like. Okay, and then there is ekagra, that is one pointedness, right? And the fifth one is niruddha, that means you are stopping all thoughts and then being alert and aware into that, right? Those kind of things. So if you are very dull and not able to appreciate this awareness concept and all that, then you cannot really have intelligence enough to understand these deeper subtle points about meditation and all that. Then you have this donkey like mind, dull mind, right? And that is they call it tamasic mind, or you can have like a very restless monkey that is drunk and is bitten by a spider. Then it is jumping, or not even spider, scorpion. Then it's jumping all over. That is the monkey like mind. That I think many people are familiar with that, because everybody uses monkey mind. And then you can be concentrating on a flower, and for a while the butterfly will be there, and immediately it will go to the next flower, next, like that, right? The most of the philosophers, scholars, they are absorbed into the kind of study or writing or whatever, and then afterwards they lose the focus again and go to the other one. But then ekagra, which is one pointedness, is where you kind of slow the thoughts and make them only one, and then you will be ekachintana. That means only one thought, and you can stay there. That is really because of the meditativeness, And then last one is where you don't even have thoughts because they're all stopped, and then you are settling in the awareness. Okay, so you want to have the fourth and fifth state mostly, but most of the people either in the first or the second or third, but you could advance from those states to the other ones. So describing them, not pointing out people or making fun of them, it's not that, but giving them an analogy where they can understand these kind of things, and then they can aspire to be ekagra and niruddha states. What do you guys say about that?
Yeah, doctor. Most of the time, people are in the third state.
Yeah.
Even I can also feel.
Yeah.
And
See, as a
one
physician,
question.
what I found was people who are really doing some sadhana, that is practice, right? And then going for these things, they were benefited directly in their jobs, in their relationship with their children or other spouses. They were more focused, more kind of in control of their thoughts. So they are not doing something unconsciously or compulsively and causing more problems for them, right? So that kind of thing. So I was just saying you could aspire to these states that are there, and there's a prescribed ways so that people can be like that. So that is that. So tomorrow I think we're going to focus on different types of meditation that can lead to it. Don't have to take the highest meditation. You got to really see where you are, and then from there you can take baby steps. It is not right to push everybody into the same uh, advanced stage if they are not ready for it, or if they are not willing for it. You can only show them, and then they can take it up and do that. So that's why I'm kind of devising new clubs and new Facebook groups and all that, so that people can join them. And then Facebook club is free, I think, Facebook group. So that is where the going to be the center of thing. What kind of things are going on? We are planning several coaching sessions and several group sessions so that people can participate them. For example, I used to do in the clinic all the obese people together one evening after the clinic, and I used to just let them gather together because they have the same problems. A lot of them, they are either eating too much or not working out that much, and also they have hormonal problems and they have genetic problems. So many things, right? But then they have self-conscious because people are making fun of them, or people they can't do certain things because of the overweight and all that. So when I put them all together, the exchange was very, very good. And then they really, some of the things that they did, they kind of exchanged, and then they became support for each other too. So that helped. Diabetics, I put them together. People with heart problems, we used to, it's like a, uh, uh, more like a group that is helping each other in that. So in the online also there are groups like that, but in the clinic, my patients used to come under my supervision. They used to meet, and if I'm right there, if they have some block or something that they want to understand, they used to pose questions. I used to interact with them and then give them resources, give them more suggestions to take care of their problem, and that worked very well. If they were satisfied, I was very happy that I got to them thinking about each other and helping each other out. Okay? This was the time when we don't have much of this internet activity and all that. But then later on, these things came. They were happy to contact me too that way. So we did that also. The same kind of thing I wanted to continue here, where I wanted to introduce them to some of the sadhana, some of the practices that can be appropriate for their illness, like a diabetes. I have specific exercise that can stimulate the pancreas, but it won't be right away. It won't be dramatic improvement, but your metabolism can be upped a little bit. Your insulin dose can be cut down a little bit. But in the long run, those kind of things will definitely help the diabetics not to have a florid complications. That kind of thing. So help them, like a asthma patient. I teach them breathing exercises so that they can breathe a little easier. And also a lot of them, they have this cough and with phlegm that is very, very tight, white phlegm, but they have to get it out in the morning, otherwise they cannot just really breathe. So we give them the inhalers. They work very well, but then when if you give them instructions how to hydrate themselves and how to do these breathing exercises, they kind of use less of the inhaler. So that's the kind of help. Contemporary complementary help. Not saying that asthma is going to be cured by yoga, but then in the long run, what happens is you will have less complications, less medication use. So that kind of things I'm planning. So there is a BA PAL Club that's going to come up that will have a lot of services there too. There's one on immunity, one on eyesight without eyeglasses, so things like that. Whatever I have learned, I want to focus them so that people will be back pain. That's a big deal. Headache. That's a big deal. Insomnia, lack of sleep. That's a big deal. And also burnout in the healthcare and also IT people. And there's the executive training that I used to do. I think I did this the longest since 1995 or something like that. So the people, it's called stress management for executive tension. See, we used to call that executive tension at the time. Now it has become the burnout, the problem. So they were there, but not this severe, but also not this many people. This is getting worse every day, the burnout problem. So I'm focusing on them too. So anybody else wants to come up and talk to us or any comments, question? You're more than welcome to come. So anything else, Rajesh or Bapu?
Yeah, the lots of hats and a bucket full of energy from India. I'm
Mm,
from India, Jagannath Puri, myself, Bapu.
yeah,
And I appreciate Dr. Rao ancient wisdom for stress and burnout. What a wonderful room be a part with Dr. Rao.
yeah,
I would like to follow you more
yeah,
in future and happy to be here. Thank you
yeah.
very much. Lots of
Yeah,
thanks, Dr. Rao.
yeah. More. I will go to do a room on uh, work stress in LinkedIn pretty soon. So that is something I don't want you guys miss it because it's going to be streamed live on LinkedIn. So you guys can participate in that too if you want. You can. Are you following me on LinkedIn, Bapu?
Yeah, quite a bit in
Um,
between.
if you are on the
Yeah.
LinkedIn, you can see me LinkedIn live, and you can also come online and participate too. That's what I would like. More people come and then bring their experience. Everybody has stress in the work, right? How did they deal with it? What are the improvements we can make? That kind of thing we can talk about. So Rajesh, do you follow me on the LinkedIn?
I'm not sure, but I will check it
Yeah,
because being LinkedIn Live, most of them are not familiar. I
yeah.
understand the live earlier they
No,
came,
I
so it
just
came on.
last
Yeah,
week I started on Restream to go live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn.
you
s-
parallelly go live.
yeah,
Okay,
and also
fine.
I'm already on Instagram live every day anyway, and of course Clubhouse is on the phone. But the
But
Restream, three of them are even now is live on that. But I'm not inviting any guests because this is more like other people who see me after that. Those some of the yoga I'm doing everything on those all those platforms because people are seeing me and doing that. That's good too. Just seeing is much better than just hearing. And that's why
uh,
I kind of made that.
yeah, is it a different program you, or it is again a same streaming on all these things, all these platforms?
The
You have a
phone and
different program or no?
phone and iPad, and then the computer screen has that. So different programs, different place, but then they are all at the same time. They're done. Maybe we can do on one platform, one computer, everything else too. But I think they don't allow the clubhouse on the computer. You know, so we have to use it either on the phone or the iPad. You know, and we can do the Instagram on the phone and iPad, but we cannot do it on the computer. So they're different apps, right? So that's what happens. But either
Okay,
way,
regarding
yeah.
yeah, doctor.
My anyway, my purpose of reaching out people, that's the only thing that I'm interested about. And everybody praises me a lot and then says so good things about me. But I want them to really take up this cause. Like, how can we be well? How can we use all the knowledge that human beings have, either medicine, modern, or the older ancient wisdom? That way, uh, we can help a lot more people, our own families, our own things. I'm seeing some people come and then they praise. Even if you go to other rooms, they are very flattering and all that, which I really don't care much. But then um, I would like to see more people involved and more people. I was in the mood of education and giving information earlier, but now after this company is established, I need support from people who are really into this cause. And people are coming and going, and I don't know whether they are following. Some people only come and then tell me, report me that this is important. Yesterday, this morning, I think there was one gentleman. He came because I think because or Vivek, his name is. He was telling me. I told him about be in the present. Am I in the present? AIP, and that changed his life because he's not reacting to the people like before, and he's always staying in the present. He was really happy about it. So those kind of things I would like to see, so that other people also will follow them and they improve their life. That's what I was looking for. But people come and then go, and then I don't see them for a while. But I don't know whether they are not able to come or they already figured out everything. I don't know. But then other rooms I go to, oh, they say so many things. And other thing is, I don't really ping many people. That's also there. Maybe that's what one thing too.
Doctor, just I am following you regularly, but see, one thing I understand is like most of the time the people are little disturbed.
Yeah,
So most of the time they are not able to come. They maybe learn something from you,
yeah,
and again they are going to. That is what you call the butterfly mind.
yeah,
Even in the learning space, also it is happening
yeah, yeah,
because I have one application
yeah.
which I am just it's a startup which I try to push it in the Ayurveda.
Ah,
Uh,
that's good.
so in
There's,
that domain also the same thing is happening.
ah.
Yeah, people
But
are
then I
coming
get
really
invited to a
very
lot of places, Rajesh. So many people want me to come and speak in their rooms. So I go there, but then I don't ping them. That may be the one reason too, because I don't ping anybody practically. Maybe a couple of people, but then most of the time, people are putting messages to me on the back channel and also in the different kind of things that happen. WhatsApp, WhatsApp, they send me messages, a lot of them, and then Instagram, they send me messages. And LinkedIn, I used to be very active before, but all the professionals used to ask me questions or anything like that. But then, whenever I did something on LinkedIn, like a post or a video and all that, that is seen by some of my friends there and all that. But Clubhouse is a place where I'm coming a lot and then talking a lot because it's easy for me to get on the phone and then talk to people, right? And now I'm expanding the service on Instagram and all the other channels. So there is a team for me to help me. They are doing that. So, but they are also getting to know me a little bit. So I told them, let us reach as many people as possible. It's a service thing, but then there will be costs. Some of those they have to absorb, so they will do that. But then if they don't do all of that, probably I'll cut back on this on those things. Otherwise, I'm happy just to talk on the clubhouse. A lot of people call me and then they come and then they provide a lot of feedback. That's nice. Um, there are some girls that lost weight, that has shoulder aches, the back aches, headache. There are people who are sleeping, so that makes me happy because their problems are addressed and they are able to at least improve their quality of life. But
Doctor, one more question. Do you launch the master program for the Indian audience? The timing you said last time, like you
yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah, I
plan
did.
quite a bit of time for the
See,
Indian
last time we did at 2 o'clock. Indians complained that it's very difficult for them in the middle of the night. So that's true, and that's why I put it this time early in the morning. And 9:30 means 8 o'clock evening time, right? So I thought that will be comfortable for you. And some people came, and then we did the conference today. Also, third day is finished. tomorrow is the fourth day, and then last day will be just tracking about everything. So I kind of talked introduction and then introduced them the problem of not really having the management of the mind in our lives can result in a lot of problems. I showed them that. And then we talked about modern way of mind and then ancient way of mind. And after that, today we talked about how to complement both of them. And tomorrow it's going to be what are the meditation techniques that we're going to talk about. And then finally, we'll wrap it all together in the final day take home points. And so I don't want to be just like a old philosophy up there, but I want a practical tips in the daily now using the ancient hacks. That's the thing. Live the modern life, but understand the what are the weaknesses in modern life and improve your life by following some of the hacks from the ancient. That was the theme, and that's going on very well. Ganesh is here. I think I talked to him before. Hi, Ganesh. How are you?
Hello, Rao Garu. Namaskara.
Yes.
Yeah, doing okay. How about yourself? Sorry, I've been out of Clubhouse for some time.
Ah, that's okay. Okay. Rajesh was also out for a few days, but then every day some new people are coming and then they talk and then they go. But after that, a few days later, they come back again. So it's okay. Yeah, I will try to join your morning meditation session. I know you have a morning meditation session, right? It's more like a yoga and focusing mind and all that at the end. Yeah. I'll try my best to join because I wake up early and then I usually do meditation by myself. Yeah. So for my of course my meditation is nothingness, which means I don't think anything. I just good breathe, and that's all. I no more no complications, no mantra chanting, nothing. Yeah. Just I take two to three deep breaths, and the third, fourth, fifth breath, I just observe and look within. That's my only meditation. Even the morning day, what I do, Ganesh, I don't do actually sitting down and doing it. Only at the end, few minutes we do that. But the whole hour is kind of meditative. That's my purpose. So whatever you are doing, you can be focused on that. Then you're automatically meditative. For me, I'm talking to you guys, right? But my mind is silent. If that makes sense. So it's yeah, it doesn't go like, oh, I have to go and do this at 9:30. I forgotten this yesterday. None of it. I'm in the moment all the time. So that is the advantage of understanding what is meditativeness. It's called Sarala Chintana. Okay, once you have that, then you are in the present all the time, and that is actually our life because past is gone, that is dead, whereas future is not yet here. What is reality, what is really true, what is life is present. If I'm with you guys, so Ganesh and Rajesh, Puneet, Marcel, I'm going to focus only on you and what you have to say. So I really don't worry about anything else because I don't allow the mind go like that. And that is a very, very energy conserving thing. Otherwise, 16,000 thoughts in a day, average person has. And now it got much worse because of all these multiple stimuli, multiple channels of information coming at us. It has really augmented, and also the speed with which they come. It used to be slow movies, and that's all gone. Right now, you have all excitement, all of the. See, they are not good if you do that continuously, especially if you start in the childhood and go all the way into adults and also middle age also even elderly people. They are stimulating their mind for no reason, you know and that's not good. Yeah. So Ravji, the in Upadesa Saram, yeah, the seventh verse, Bhagavan Sri Ramana says, Ajhadaraya Srotasa Samam Sarala Chintanam Viralata Param. Yes. Steady as a stream or downward flow of oil, continuous meditation is better than interrupted spells. Exactly. That's what he uses the analogy. The oil that's coming on, that is how smooth and uneven it is. That's how See what he describes it before that: puja, japa, and dhyana, one over the other. Puja with the body, japa with the speech, and dhyana with your mind. Okay, one over the other superior. So, but then dhyana also not on any particular object and all that, but sarala chintanam, uninterrupted meditation on in the eighth thing he points that out. You concentrate on the energy, on the what it represents, the whatever vigraha, whatever that you are doing, that should you should be in touch with the what is the energy behind it. And then once you are engulfed by it, that's the only way. That means you have to surrender yourself completely to the God. And then the best way is to always thinking about the God in Sarala Chintanam all the time. But now what has become? It has become a means for some transaction. I want something, a visa, I want a building, I want a job, and that's why I'm going to do it. That was not the intention at all. Ravana says, if you take that mind and put it in your spiritual heart, then all that movement will stop. And that itself is the Sarala Chintanam. That is uninterrupted, continuous flow. That's what he was talking about. Yeah, Upadesara, if you look at Ganesh, it is kind of first five is the karma yoga, then the next five is the bhakti yoga, you know, and then you go from there to 22nd or something like that. That's like a gnana yoga. Like that, you can break it down to four yogas if you really closely look at it, you know. And yeah, all of them lead to the same thing. Ultimately, he says the real I, if you discover that, if you stay that, then the mind will be established in the heart. So the person who has erased the ego and established his mind in the heart, there is nothing else he needs to do. Very interesting story is, Bhagwan Ramana has written in Telugu, yes, Tamil, Sanskrit, and Malayalam. Exactly. He has done that Bhagavad Gita, 40 slokas. So I think one of the Telugu person, I forgot his name, but he comes and he asks, oh, Bhagwan, there are 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita. I cannot read all of them. Can you tell us what are the important ones? Then he wrote this 40 that he wrote in his writings in his own hand. He wrote in all languages. He learned languages like 3 days. Malayalam, he learned it 3 days. So, yeah, that is what I think Parani Swami is the first devotee, I believe, yeah, from him. Because he was not able to read Malayalam. It will take forever to read Malayalam. Yeah. So reading is a problem. So Bhagavan said, give it to me. I will read it for you. Yeah, exactly. See, it's a kind of how, if you examine that phenomena, how was he so focused on that? That's what he said in another place where he said it's not the amount of work is the problem, it is the invading thoughts. So if when you are working, if you don't have the invading thought, that means you are so focused, you are in flow, then all your attention will go there and the quality of work will improve. This is directly applicable to burnout here now, because people are thinking a lot and they think I can think through everything. Even the sadhanas and spiritual things I talk about, people want to analyze, think, and make a conclusion with their mind. Big mistake. You can never get ahead in that way, because in your experiential way, your mind will be very active. Other than that, what it is if you can work with your hands and with a silent mind. See, uh, uh, there were these ladies who were the cooks, right, in the ashram, and one of them was complaining that she's always had to cook there. She's missing the talks and interviews in the hall that were happening while these people are preparing. Other people are sitting in there, and the ashram rule was the adhikari, the sarvadhikari, the manager of the ashram. He said, if you are come here to help cook, volunteer or be, but still you have to stay and do that, not leave the work and go the hall and listen to all these things. So but Ramana used to go and visit them and supervise the cooking and tell them. There was one instance when he caught one of them complaining like that. Then he said, "You are not that is complaining now. You are that behind this complaining." So they stopped. They got very profound understandings from him, from his daily mundane things. So he taught them so much. I Have you seen that head chef video, Ganesh?
Not sure. I mean, HML is there, and I'm trying
No,
to think.
no,
I know I
there
read
is
I'm
there
still
is a
reading the
video.
screen. I'm a,
No, there is a
oh,
video. What their impressions were when he was acting as head chef. Ramana was acting as a head chef, and kind of showed them in a very profound way, very small things, and that was very, very, very good. So one time he comes into the place, and then there's a big pot of sambar is cooking, and then he tastes it and he says it's good, it's done. And then this little lady next to him is one of the chefs there, and he tells her, pick it up and then put it down, you know and then, even though by strength she doesn't have the strength, but she just picks it up and puts it down, and then she's amazed. How could he do it? How could I do it? But what it is what he was teaching there is, you only impose yourself in limitations by thinking I cannot do this, and by her doing it, he gave her the confidence. So he taught like that, very indirectly in a lot of things. Later they were explained, and then at the time, all these people experienced these things, they documented them, so they came as a story. It was a wonderful story. I was very happy to show to my wife and my sister, because they also do this. Cooking and all that, but they are some of those things what he said really, they are doing them. So I said, see, Ramana Maharshi said about this, if you do this kind of thing. So it was very instructional.
every activity is a Zen activity, right? You when the mind is
Yeah, I
applied.
don't I don't want to name them because they are spontaneous, and they are kind of Zen is after came from yoga.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So any of these terms, I have great admiration to the Zen practitioners. But you are right in a way. But then what Ramana did was completely spontaneous, not according to any particular reason. That's the thing I was making a clarity about, because some of these people, they have this experiential knowledge, but we kind of make a concept out of it, and we kind of make isms out of it, and that's when that becomes a problem too. So a lot of people, I tell them, I'm not just talking like an Indian, but I'm talking about a person who has examined these ancient wisdom systems, educational systems, and all that. And from that, my life has really transformed. That's why I'm trying to get you see that, And then I never tell them accept whatever I say. I invite them to go and study and investigate, and then come to the life and apply. Carlos, welcome. I saw you this
Thank you.
morning.
Yes, thank you.
You're cut off.
Oh, no, no, I thought you were going to continue speaking, but thank you for welcoming me. And it's always a pleasure to be in your rooms. And what you're talking about is so very interesting to me.
Yeah.
I had a couple of questions since on uh, ancient philosophies.
Yeah.
One question I had is I was in New Orleans and I was handed a book called The Science of Self-Realization.
Yeah.
By A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada,
Uh-huh.
who is the founder of the Hare Krishna movement, apparently.
Iskon.
And my question is, a lot of the stuff that he's saying there is consistent with a lot of the other ancient uh, philosophies that I've been studying, or religions, or ideologies. I'm not sure what the right term is. Uh, and I was just wondering what your take is on that. And today also, I ran into somebody from India that studies a religion. He said it's not really a religion. It's called Jainism, J A I
Yeah,
N
yeah,
I S M.
yeah.
And I was curious about that as well, if you could help.
Briefly, all religions are the one, actually. In a way, some are different a little bit, but ultimately the aim is the same. You know, so to really identify with one religion actually contributing to the division of the world. So I don't identify with any religion because there is something more than religion in spirituality, and then you are free of that bondage of belonging to something, but belonging to everybody this way. So for me, Jainism or Buddhism or Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Jews, anything you name it, are the same ultimately. You know,
I
and
agree.
yeah,
I agree.
and then that science of realization is really true, because it's Prabhupada, when he first came to America, he was teaching them some silly way the yoga because they wanted that way. Somebody wanted to have sex prowess, somebody wanted to really improve their body, things like that. But he was doing some of them, and also the meditative, that what they call the transcendental meditation, TM, they call it, right? That was based on mantra yoga, actually. But he taught some of them for that because they don't have the concentration of thought. He was trying to give them that. Then other people ask him, why are you teaching them these things? This is not for meditation, is for self realization, not to improve your headaches or stress or anything like that. Then he said, I am giving them what they want now so that they can do what I want later. See? So,
Interesting.
so what he wanted them was really go the path of self-realization. Why he said the science was, these are not concepts, these are not information, these are not philosophies. The truths that they discovered were discovered through what's called shrutis. That means they were in a meditative state where the cognitive mind is completely quiet, and then were able to tune to the universal intelligence and hear these truths. For example, Ramanujan is a great physicist and also mathematician, and he kind of wrote about when he was there complex problems, and then I think it was Thomas Hardy or somebody like that was the famous physicist in London at the time. So he found some of these formulas because they were sent to him. I think Ramanujan was in a small town in India, in Tamil Nadu. So he makes these formulas that he found to this famous physicist. He looks at them. He's astounded because the quality of those equation was tremendous, right? Then he brings him to London, expenses everything paid, and then he asks him, "How did you get to these formulas? What were the steps that you got it?" And he told him, well, I am in devotion with this Devi, what we worship. I was meditating a lot every day, and during the night when I'm sleeping, she comes in my dream, writes these formulas on my tongue, and in the morning I get up and then replay. I know that she wrote on those things, and they come out of my mind, and I write them down. They couldn't believe it because some of the black holes they were not even heard of it at the time. And another thing was 70 years after Ramanujan's death, they still can't configure some of the formulas he wrote. He wrote to the last day that he was dying, you know, and then some of the formulas still not to be solved. It's a very the universal intelligence has a lot of secrets in there. Some of them were revealed to these rishis. So this European a few hundred years ago, there's some people thought some things and doing it. They fail in those shrutis because they don't have any connection with the universal intelligence. Some of the scientists also, like they tell you, they have been working so hard, but they couldn't find the answer, and suddenly they take a break and then out of the blue they get the answer. Where did it?
That's very, that's so interesting. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah,
uh, I have ADHD, so
yeah,
my thoughts escape me very quickly if I don't, and I apologize for this. But on that same point, I had a vision of building these greenhouses in my backyard.
yeah,
Uh, they grow organic fish plants and mushrooms, and when the idea came to me,
yeah,
it was almost as if it was given to me. In other
yeah,
words, I don't know how to
exactly.
explain it,
It happens to
but
you. It happens to you, Carlos.
I knew it would work.
Yeah,
And not only did I know it would work, but I knew that I had to teach everybody. It was like it was more than just an idea. It was you have to build this, and you have to tell everybody in the world how to build these.
yeah,
And and these things, it's incredible. It's been operating for 8 years now in my backyard,
yeah. Let me
and
finish
it
my
could.
thought,
Yeah, I'm
Carlos.
sorry. Go ahead.
Something important I'm going to tell you. Um, uh, when you are in touch with that universal intelligence, these intuitive insights happen. So you cannot catch them with intellect. You have to catch them intuition. You got to feel and listen. That means your cognitive, intellectual, sensory brain has to come down to normal. Okay, very simple thing I will tell you. You guys experiment it at home. All you do is you are going to bed tonight, right? So what you do is you try to empty your mind as much as possible, and then disassociate yourself with everything. That means this is my name, this is my role as as a physician, as a husband, as a technician, as a father. All those just for that night, not too much. Just put them on the table, like
You
all
said
this.
disassociate yourself
Yeah,
with those material terms, correct?
No, no, all roles, any role that you have, not
Any
necessarily
role.
any
Okay,
roles you have,
got it.
because you identify with that, right? I'm Dr. Rao, I'm
Understood.
father, that kind of, because they really don't mean anything in the long run. But
No,
then,
they don't.
can you,
So things like I'm a
yeah,
lawyer, I'm a father,
mm,
um, a soldier, that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah, that kind of stuff. They're very simple things. Very blatantly to you. Even identifying with the sex, even identifying with the country, identifying with the professional association, all those things. You are not going to lose anything because you're going to sleep and then you go putting aside. What happens is you will have access to chitta if you are doing this. The chitta is that universal consciousness. You become the conduit to that. I think that's what happened to Ramanujan. He became a conduit to the universal intelligence because the divine forces worked with him.
Incredible. And can I ask you a question? How do you chant that? Can you give me an example? You can say, "I am not a lawyer. I am
No,
not a
no,
male. I
don't
am
do
not."
that. Don't do
Is
that.
that how you say it, or
No,
say it
no,
in a
no.
positive way?
It's not chanting. Then again you are bringing your own mind and the senses. What you have to do is you have to dissociate from that mental um, attachment, whatever you have with that. That means you don't even want to be recognized by your name for the night.
Disassociate yourself with the
Yeah,
labels that you're
yeah,
given
yeah. You think
in the
that you
material
are
world.
that, so you just have to dissociate. Nothing doing with chanting, nothing doing with repeating anything. Then it becomes a mental activity again. That's why you
Very
remember
interesting.
I said not with intellect, but with intuition. So you are always operating on the intellect. You are describing yourself as ADHD. You are describing yourself as concepts. You are describing philosophy. All that is projection of the intellect. Once you realize that, then they drop.
Interesting. And that's when you're operating from your conscious, not your
Mm,
intellect.
yeah. Intuition. Intuition means feeling.
Is that the right brain? Because I was reading in a lot of these Eastern
Again,
philosophies,
intellectual
there's left brain and right brain.
no, intellectual reduction. That is, actually, mind both are together. There are certain areas that dominate, but actually, if you don't operate with both, you cannot function. So that's also a new
Correct.
concept. See, this is the problem with Western cognitive dominated mind is everything is reduced to some concept.
Like a one or a zero, which
Mm.
the universe isn't a one or a zero; it's a moving,
Yeah,
evolving.
exactly. It is always new. It's always presenting. It's like you cannot bathe in the river twice because
That's right.
first time you are there, that water is already gone. So you are in a new water. See, if
So
you,
it's almost as like the moment in time that you're in is,
yeah,
you know, you're in the moment, but that moment is moving, right? In other words,
Carlos, don't try to analyze, understand this. Feel it.
I apologize. I
No,
you
it's
know,
not apology. It's a
doing this
question
work
of,
for so long,
yeah.
it's like,
I'm just giving
you get
giving you,
taught to use
yeah,
intellect, and then
yeah.
you get stuck
That
using it.
that is the problem we always have. I had the same problem too. What I'm saying is, feel the truth of this. Then,
Thank you so much.
yeah,
I
then you,
understand what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, then you will be very intuitive, and the intuition goes up. You see, all these people are coming to me. I can easily see whether they are analyzing or intuiting whatever I say. So they want to listen, they want to analyze, they want to see whether there's correct in their experience, or whether this matches with what they read somewhere, all those things. But in this moment, right here, I'm with you, Carlos. I've just caught very important thing from you, and I pointed out without being offensive to you, but you caught it. You caught that. Okay, this is conscious. This is intuition. This is the role I want to don't want to be. And then you caught that, and then staying in there is your business. Don't go into analysis, then you will paralyze. But if you really uh, feel it, intuit that whatever wisdom that we share, intuit means that you have to apply for yourself inside. Otherwise, like we were Ganesh and me were talking about Ramana's ashram life and all of that. We can make a concept about it. Oh, yeah, good about it. Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. But it's never in real in our life. Then what's the use?
Thank you so much, Doctor. I really enjoy your talks. By the way, I've very much gotten interested in. I guess it's the big questions, right? The meaning
Yes.
of life, what
Yes.
happens after death.
Yeah.
You know,
Existential
these are
questions. Yeah. They are existential questions. Yeah. That's true. That's what we do. Okay.
So, very beautiful discussion. I loved it. Carlos' questions are very nice. I know. The Carlos, the Bhakti Prabhudeva is they belong to the Kaudiya Parampara, uh, which is the Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
So from the West Bengal side of India. So there's a Hare Krishna movement, Prabhupada Pada, Sri Prabhupada Pada. So, but as they're all based on the Vedas, and in the from that Vedanta, there are different, explanation and different school of thoughts. So that is where the difference comes. And you ask for Jainism. Jainism is very one of the ancient religions in India. So it has all the roots from Hinduism, but it's little differ from that. It doesn't want to deal with all the rituals and anatma. So it's also kind of a parallel branch of Buddhism. It's like what you call sunyavada, right? Nothingness. So that's those are the very technical differences between Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism. Of course, Buddha was a Hindu, then followers of Buddha become Buddhist. Like that.
See,
So
the
so and
Ganesh, what it is with this paramparas are can lead people to wasteful discussions and conclusions rather than going to the final thing, which is all is one, and that's what Ramana said, or what all these religions frequently say, and then they transcend the ego and mix with that oneness. Uh, so the intellectual discussion of this, some people get lost in the concepts and all of that. That's why I always say, don't be religious, be spiritual. Religious is more like actually the routines, the rituals that they made is a conglomeration of lot of philosophy put in there. But people lost the meaning. Like for example, in the Upadeshara, we're talking about the eighth one where he says you get to identify with the power or the consciousness that is behind that vigraha. And a lot of people made the vigraha as somebody as a god, and then they want to worship that, and then they want to isolate it from them. whereas Ramana, everybody else is talking about the God is within you. So this is a very complex problem for the humanity, because you think God is out there, but the
We're all God, right? We're all part of
yeah,
the
yeah, that's the
the
non
big universe.
yeah, that's the non-duality where you say, you put 100 glasses of water in front of the sun, every glass will reflect that. So this problem of divinity outside, or going somewhere to get that, either to the heaven or to this thing, all those things have become concepts, and they took concrete, versus realizing yourself that you are that um, uh, you are that conscious, which is like a absolute consciousness. And once you realize that, that is the self realization. It's already there. You don't have to travel anywhere. You don't have to do anything, but you just have to be that. All these scholarship, erudition, all the uh, clever arguments or shrewd arguments, they all separate you from that one sensation. So anyway, what is the time now? 9:12. Okay. So I will stop here now because I have engagement at 9:30 again. So I'm inviting people to come and join my Zoom meetings too. That way you can participate in those deep sessions, and also you can support me too that way. So I was
I
talking
would
to,
love to.
yeah. They are all announced, but nobody really took them serious. Some people came, but I expect a lot more. I don't know why they are not coming.
Are
It will be
they have a
time.
certain time?
Yeah, I'm doing this masterclass right now, which is it's 9:30 Central United States time. In the morning. Two more sessions are left, tomorrow and after tomorrow. We're talking about meditation and mind management, and then also I opened up a Zoom discussion 7 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock is my time, where it's called Wellness Ways. People come, and then we are talking about their personal problems, and also if they have personal questions. There's a lot more time. Up to five in a room, we take them, and then we kind of give them the time that they need. At least 15, 20 minutes each one, they are doing it. More also, because they are learning from each other also. So I'm going to open up this Facebook group. I already have Kolusu Gurukul, and also I'm going to open a Be a Pal club, so that people who are interested, they can participate in all that. So otherwise,
Can I ask you the name of the Facebook group, if you don't mind?
Kolusu Gurukul.
I'm going to have trouble with that.
Yeah.
Colossal.
It will be on the advertisement. That my team is preparing that, so you will be seeing them.
Is it on your website? Because you sent me a link to your website.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But
I'll
I
find it
told
from
them
there.
to put it on. I'm not sure yet, but I think they were. We had a meeting yesterday, and we talked about it, and they will be doing that. Basically, we want them to come to the website, and then find this Facebook group, and then send an invitation. Then usually I will be looking at it and see some questions are answered, and then we will allow people who wants to discuss at the same issues that we are talking about here. So anyway, we will stop here for today, and then I will see you again tomorrow. Okay. By the way, I have a leadership. I have a speech on leadership, from ego to servant leadership. Today is 27th, right? 28th. This happening in India. They will start in couple of hours, but mine I chose to come in the morning for me. Otherwise, it becomes midnight for me. So it was going to be 45 minutes. So I think that mine is the longest speech there. I'm going to talk about what is the need of egoic centered leadership to servant leadership, in wellness, in hospitals, in healthcare. It is a conglomeration of university, of I think healthcare administrations. They wanted me to share my experiences as a leader in the healthcare field. What I'm thinking of, basically I'm thinking about, let us create wellness oriented health system. Why our illness oriented system is not really helping us and to be well. That's my theme. But then for that, you want to have leaders in healthcare field that are trying to improve the awareness of the people and the society, and not just just make money or degrees or whatever. That is the way I look at it. So I'm going to talk about that. I think that one is published in my social media. So if you want, you can register and go there. I think it's I don't know if it's free or not. I don't have any control over that. The organizers invited me, so I'm going to be on the panel and then delivering my lecture. But if you are
Thank you so
interested,
much.
yeah, you can join that. All right, I will
No,
be.
I found your website and I added your Facebook. So thank you so much,
Okay.
and thank you for everything.
Okay. Okay.